John, host Robbie. Thank you for joining us today. It's March 30th, 2022. It's going to be officially 2 years of doing these live programs, and now we're on every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific to get your attention and talk about U.S. immigration. You have a lot of questions, I have a lot of answers, general education stuff, so you know what's going on in the immigration system. A lot of updates happening every day, but also just the confusion of the typical stuff. Give you a heads up on what's going on, so then you can decide what you want to do with your case. We're talking with a lawyer and all that kind of stuff. That's what we're here to do. The quick notes and I always remind people watching the live show is that we provide free video consultations for those that are winners of our live show raffle. What you need to do is like and subscribe wherever you're watching this, and then every 10 minutes for the next 30 minutes, so 3 different free video consultations will be announced. 15 minutes to talk with me. All you got to do again is click like, subscribe, and write consultation. And my wonderful assistant, Katrina, will name a person 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and 30 minutes so we can have a chat to see what's going on in your case. So that's that. And also, if you're interested in doing marriage immigration, you're going to do a fiance visa, you're getting married to somebody, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. You get some great information there, and you'll be surprised. People email me all the time, surprised that I'm just giving away all the information. And that's what I'm here to do, is because it's a hard process. Not everyone could hire an attorney. You need to know that. Then you see what kind of attention I have to my cases. And if you like, you could always hire my office and all that kind of stuff. But start just download the ebook to see what's going on. 40 plus pages of information at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. We have a lot of ebooks coming out. I'm hiring staff to help me manage this whole thing, but I really want to get guides on everything out there. We have seminars on EB1A extraordinary ability, those who want to get green cards based on being the top in their field. If you want information on how to attend those seminars, free seminars, just email me at info@jqqlaw.com, info@jqqlaw.com. We're going to call in boardrooms. We're going to get together and break down the process and all the stuff that's involved. Having said that, let's get started. All right, so we have questions seeping in. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube, the main YouTube channel and the Clips channel. First question coming in from Donya, I think is regular. I've seen that name before on the show. Donya asks, why the work permit takes so long, more than 3 months? So it depends on what kind of work permit you have. Recently, USCIS changed its policy, so when you're applying for a C9 green card, C9 work permit, which is if you're applying for a green card and the work permit and travel permission that comes with it, if you recently started applying for that, they're approving the work permits pretty fast since November. They've been approving in like 2 or 3 months. The advanced parole takes longer, but they're getting the work permit faster. If you have other categories and if you filed before November, then they're still taking a regular amount of time, 7, 8, 9 months, unfortunately. I'm not sure why they're adjudicating the new ones faster than the old ones, but it is a new policy they're instituting. Now, USCIS yesterday announced that they're going to be speeding things up, so they'll be taking care of work permits. Either you pay a premium processing fee and get it in like 2 weeks, or in 2 months they want to do it. But we'll see when that kicks in. They said it's going to kick in this year. We hope so, but you can expect finally the increases too with that. That's probably going to happen. But there you go. It's an important thing. Why it takes so long? It's the government. They're here to help you. Anna says, how much is the fee for siblings for I-130? Well, fees are different based on the attorney. I can't discuss that here. But every I-130 petition, which is a sibling starting petition, is $535 right now. And then they eventually, over 10, 15, 20 years, when they go to the embassy, there's going to be a medical fee. Right now, the fee for one person is $445. That family members will be more, like if they're married or have kids. That varies, and the price will be different than what I tell you now because it's going to be so far into the future. But the starting fee is $535 for the government. Simon asks, how best can I respond to a notice of intent to deny that requests prior evidence, which is unavailable? That's like too case specific. We got to see what's going on. It depends on if it's U.S. recognizes it as being unavailable or if you just can't get a hold of it. So that's not something going here. That's something you need to talk with private to see what's going on with the document. Additional research is needed into the unique situation. Monterey Films, one of our regulars, asks, marriage adjustment interview next Wednesday. Congratulations. I've been married for more than a year, filed taxes as married jointly. Any tips for the interview? Work permit is still pending. We'll update my results next week. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, congrats on the interview. Work permits, you're probably going to get the green card, and the work permit's not just going to come. But check out the ebook, marriageimmigrationlaw.com. You just got to be prepared. Know your forms, the information on it, have the documents, original documents, joint documents that are necessary, updated joint documents. And just know that practice the questions about your relationships. If you download the guide at the end of the Marriage Immigration Law, Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide, marriageimmigrationlaw.com, there's like 3 or 4 pages of practice questions. Just go through it together So you're very prepared, but most likely it'll go pretty smoothly. Most of these cases are fine. Best of luck. Alpha asks, can a green card holder sponsor to his parents for green card? So a green card holder cannot petition for their parents. Only a citizen can do that. Now, the word sponsor is not used properly here. So the technical thing is, can a green card holder petition for their parents? No, they can't. Only a U.S. citizen can petition for their parents. But a sponsor usually goes towards a financial sponsor, even though regular people use that terminology in that way. So let's say you had an older brother who's a U.S. citizen and applies to the parents, but the brother doesn't make any money. You, as a green card holder, can financially sponsor them as a joint sponsor. So there's a terminology issue there, but overall, I'm guessing you're meaning petition, and no, only U.S. citizens can petition for their parents, not green card holders. Momsilo asks, will there be any case in which, after filing Form I-618, beneficiary on Form I-130 would be allowed to have his green card in the U.S. instead of go back to his country? So no. Let me break down for those just tuning in what's going on. So an I-601A is a form requesting a waiver. This is because the person came to the United States and either probably overstayed or came without permission and accumulated unlawful presence for a period of time. Because of that, they're not typically allowed to apply for a green card in the United States. They have to leave. But if they leave, they're subject to a 3 or 10-year ban from coming a bar to come back in. So to prevent that, you apply for I-618, get approved, which is taking 1 or 2 years. So right now, it's taking forever to get these approved. And then eventually go to the U.S. Embassy and do an interview, and then come back in. Now, you ideally don't want to have to do a waiver. Some people who have deferred action for child arrivals DACA have been able to travel with advanced parole, come back in, and adjust status. This may or may not be an option for people at TPS. Some people have a thing called 245I compliance, so they don't have to do that. You might have had a U visa, you don't need to do that. So there are exceptions to it. When you say any case in law, there's never 100%. There's always, it's like life. There's never 100%. So we can't really ask questions like that. Any case is just too generalistic. But if you need to file 618, I haven't reviewed your case. If you need to file it, then yeah, you're going to have to go. But I don't know your details, your case to be able to give the answer that you really need, which is analyzing your case to see what's going on if some exception exists. But thanks for the question, but good luck on that. Now, Rent Jordan asks, I have an approved EB1A I-140. That's extraordinary ability. Congrats. And I've applied for I-485 adjustment of status, a green card based on the approved I-140 in February, finished biometrics. Good. If I want to change my field of work, when can I do so? So you can't necessarily change your field of work. Now, if you're, there's so much more to know. So this is just general guidance. I don't know your individual situation because the information will be different based on the facts of your case. But the EB1A Extraordinary Ability Green Card says that, I'm this talented person, I'm extraordinary ability in this particular field, and when I come to the United States, I'm going to continue doing that field. So if you're the best dancer and all of a sudden you're, doing something completely different, become a hockey player, they may question that and say, hey, I thought you were going to be a hockey player. Most likely they're not going to pay attention to care, or most likely when you say you want to change your field of work, it's not too different. There's some overlap. We could argue it. But I had, for example, a top lawyer got a green card for it. And when she did her paperwork, she wrote, in her interview, she said, when I come to the United States, I'm going to go to school. And then they wanted to deny her case. And I said, listen, she's going to go to school to further study law to be even a better lawyer. So and I had to argue with them and say she's going to work on the side and she found a job and all this kind of stuff. Big headache. So you got to be consistent with that to be safe. But Narendra, my assistant Katrina says you're our winner for our raffle free video consultation raffle 15 minutes. Just take a screenshot of wherever you're watching this so I know it's you and email it to me at info@jqklaw.com. And I could schedule a free video consultation where we talk about some more detail in private, see what's going on, what field you were, what you're going in, all this kind of stuff. It's probably better to talk about there. But thank you for your question, Arjun. Look forward to speaking with you. For those just tuning in, we do give away free video consultation. Just gave away one. We got 2 more to give away, one in 10 minutes, one in 20 minutes. Just stick around. All you need to do is press like, subscribe, and write consultation. My wonderful assistant Katrina will name somebody at those 2 junctures, and we'll get to private consultation going on there. So I'll get the next question. Mohammed asks, my wife just got her naturalization certificate. She became a citizen. Congrats. And with the new name and applying for a passport, can she just apply with a certificate name, or she could change her license name to then apply? Your question is not clear what you're talking about, but if she changed her name and she applies for citizenship, it's going to be on the new name. She could change her license name to then apply. I'm not sure what that means. Unfortunately, your question is not properly worded, so I can't figure out what I was trying to say. But she should be updating her name to her new name. Zulfal asks, went to my first base on marriage, but then sent me a notice for second interview. Do I have to? I think you had one marriage-based interview, and they said come again, which is not a good sign because that means they don't trust you. By this question, the way you wrote it, halfway, I think English may have been an issue, so that's why I definitely want to have a lawyer with you that speaks your language potentially, so it's prepared to be answered. Maybe you had some language issues in there that caused confusion, but be very cautious. Having a second interview for immigration is going to be very dangerous for your case. You want to knock that one out of the park. Dietz asks, let's see, hi, which group of non-immigrant visas cannot file for adjustment of status for EBI 485? So, which group of non-immigrant visas? So, it's not a visa, but a person with a visa waiver generally can't do that. ESTA. If you're a crew member, you usually can. That's C or D category. For those are basically it. All the other ones you could file for adjustment of status. It really depends on the facts and what's going on. If you're, let's see, if you're a diplomat, you still can. You have to file an extra form. But generally speaking, you have to think about more details. So don't quote me on this. But it's at least the C and D category. These are crew members on planes and boats and stuff like that can't. And someone on the visa waiver can, generally speaking. Robin asks, sir, I have a U visa approved and also have an I-130 approved through marriage. Okay. Congrats. You probably see which one's better. Probably I-130 because this is going to be faster, but I don't know the details of your case, so I can't give individual legal guidance here. Monterey S. Phil calls up. Marriage-based adjustment, interview on green card, interview next Wednesday. Do you think USCIS can approve a 10-year green card if I request them? Been married for 14 months. We'll have to. Okay, so yeah, so if you have your green card interview and the green card's approved after that, and your marriage is less than 2 years old, the green card you get is a 2-year green card, not a 10-year green card. 2-year green card means you have to apply for removal of conditions and redo forms and deal with the government to prove that your marriage wasn't fake. Ideally, you want to get a 10-year green card to avoid that. So by the time your green card is approved, you need to be 2 years of marriage. Now you've had 14 months of marriage. You have another, let's do the math, 24 minus 14, 10 months left. Well, I have to file, you missed your question. We'll have to file removal conditions at 10 months. Not after 10 months. It's just whenever the green card comes, 2 years after that, or a year and 9 months after that, or something like that. But I had a case where the USCIS officer in a similar situation, similar timeline, wanted to help out the clients. I wouldn't request it. Just let them do what they want to do. You want the green card in hand. So in this case, the guy had the interview with the wife. They were going to get approved. The officer said, you know what, I'm going to be nice. I'm just going to hold on to your case for 6 or 7 months and then approve it. So you get a 10-year green card. It was very nice. Well, after the interview, 3 or 4 months go by, and these people get in a fight. They realize they don't want to be together anymore. They get divorced. The officer doesn't know this, issues a green card. The guy has a green card for 15 years, doesn't care about citizenship, marries again. New wife's like, no, I want you to be a citizen. Go file. And obviously, they don't have a lawyer. File for citizenship, and the officer realizes, hey, when you got your green card, you weren't married anymore. So you did fraud, and you lied to us. You weren't actually married. And then so it's like, oh, open up. So it's like, you never know. If you got one in the hand, keep it. If you got the green card, keep it. Don't ask for that just to avoid I-751. Not worth it, in my opinion. Tommy asks, are there still biometrics delays in Los Angeles? Depends on your case type, but for like adjustment cases, especially marriage adjustment cases, I'm getting them like with the receipts essentially. They're really fast. The initial receipt notice was received almost 5 months ago for work permit adjustment being processed at NVC based on Cuban adjustment asking for a friend. I don't know about Cuban adjustment cases. That's not something that's typical for me to handle. Like for my employment-based cases, it's taking them 5 or 6 months to get the interview, but for marriage cases, I'm getting them immediately. It depends on the case, so it's all over the place. Robin follows up, and I had a removal order from asylum. Do you know how long it takes to get a terminated removal order? I don't do removal orders and stuff like that, so I wouldn't be able to answer that question, Robin. Saad asks, hi, my I-130 petition for my wife says that they're actively reviewing case. Can you please tell me how long it takes for them to review it? What's the next step? I can't say exactly what the next step is because I don't know your case, but probably waiting for an interview appointment notice or if you're approval or something like that. But there's no timelines as to how long it takes. You got to wait whenever they get to it. Mohammed follows up. Hi, my wife's got her. Yeah, you already answered that question. Your question wasn't clear. Berger says, hi, say you have a VAWA EAD valid for 1 year and a U visa EAD valid for 4 years, and you've traveled outside U.S. on VAWA EAD. Will travel outside you can't travel on VAWA EAD. It has to be advanced parole. I don't use NVs, and there's more to this case I would need to know because of the situation involved. So I'm not going to be able to answer this here, unfortunately. Meyer asks, what year and month is the NVC interviewing now? So that question is too broad because the NVC, first of all, doesn't do interviews. Those are each embassy. And of the 100+ embassies that are in the world, each one has their own different timeline, and it's different for what kind of case you have: family-based, employment-based, diversity visa lottery. Within each of those, family-based, employment-based, there's subcategories. So if you're doing a marriage case for a U.S. citizen in Belgium, that could be really fast once your NVC case is approved. But if you're doing it in India, Pakistan, it could be a year and 2 years. If you're applying for your brother and sister, that could be 20 years in the Philippines or Mexico, or 12 years in Iran. Or if you're doing employment-based and you got a employer filing for a green card, EB2 from India, that's going to be 15 years. So the question doesn't match what actually happened. So download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Even if you're not doing a marriage case, there I explain to a certain extent. Actually, that's more. It's there because I go for green cards too, but for marriage. But it'll explain it. Or I have like probably 20 videos on YouTube discussing what the NVC does. Oh, I know. Go to YouTube and go to the JQK Law Firm page and watch the detailed video I do about consular processing. That'll explain what's going on, because your question means that you need to get an expanded explanation of what the whole process is. So please go check out that video of consular processing, jklaw.com. It's wonderful. I mean, it really breaks down what you need to do. I'm surprised that video doesn't have 1 million views on it for everyone who's going through the process watching it first. But watch that video and you'll get understanding what I'm talking about. So that's why the question is not really answerable. At the end of the day, it depends on the embassy that you're dealing with in your case and if the officers want to review it. Sam asks, what should I expect if I don't overcome a notice of intent to deny on a marriage-based green card? Well, you're going to get denied, and depending on your existing status, if you don't have an underlying status, you're going to go to removal proceedings. If they deny it for fraud or misrepresentation, then you got to challenge that. So there's a lot of bad stuff to expect. Just know that. Definitely, you should have got an attorney yesterday, but if not today, or as soon as possible. Tremont says, is it okay to inquire on a waiver when it's overdue? Is it okay? It's not okay. You do what you got to do. If you want to inquire, then you inquire. Marlene says, hi to you. Tanaji says, EB3 green card holder, plan to change employer after 5 months having a green card, creating a problem? Well, it depends on the officer doing your case for citizenship later. What I tell people, some lawyers have strict rules of waiting 6 months or 3 months. At the end of the day, you do what makes sense in your life. I need to know more about your case. I can't give you legal advice here because I don't know the whole situation. I do err on the side of saying do what makes sense for your personal life. So if you're going to go someplace and they pay twice as much, how could you say no to that? But I don't know the details of your case and how much truth or issues are involved in there or suspicion. So you creating problems, it can, and maybe it can. So that's the best I can give you. These are individualist kind of questions that I can't answer. Even then, we had individual consultation. It's going to be up to the USCIS officer reviewing your case and based on the facts and how you handle it. So there's so many variables in there to give an exact answer. So I think I'm going to reword the question. If the Form I-6018 forgives overstay, is any of the form necessary to be sent for working in the U.S. after overstaying the visa in order to be approved for I-130? I-130 is about proving your relationship is real. So that's if you have joint relationship documents, that's it. So it looks like you need a consultant in private. If you're going into waivers and stuff, you definitely need to talk to an attorney in private to help you out with that. But thanks for the question. Mahafalza, okay, she changed her name on the naturalization certificate, but her ID has a previous name. So can she just submit her previous ID and certificate with the new name for passport? For passport, she just needs to show her naturalization certificate. She bring her ID, it doesn't matter, but they're going to issue the passport based on naturalization certificate. That's really it. It seems like he needs some clarification. My assistant, Katrina, says that you want our free video consultation. So just email me, take a screenshot so I know it's you that's talking, so I can see whatever you're watching, that is you. And email it to me at info@jqklaw.com, and we'll schedule a quick chat to talk about this more detail, clarify this. But for those just tuning in, we're giving a free video consultations. We have one more left in 10 minutes. All you got to do is like, subscribe, and write consultation. And I could jump in 10 minutes, name that person. My assistants could tell me who it is. and you'll do a free video consultation, 15 minutes, kind of have a more intimate talk about what's going on. If you haven't already, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com, breaking down A to Z of the process for getting a marriage green card. There's always more to it. It's general information only. This will help you a lot. Check it out. I think it's a game changer. All right. So next question, Mochi asks, I'm applying for my parents' green card online and waiting for a document from Iran that's taking forever. Do you recommend to wait to complete or submit without that document? Mochi, I can't answer that. I don't know what the document is, how important it is. As a lawyer, I can't submit stuff knowing that it's missing. So that's the general answer, but I don't even know what's going on. So I can't really give individual legal guidance to tell you what to do on a case in a public forum like this. Sorry, I can't help you with that. Saad asks, hi, my I-130 petition. My wife says that they're actively reviewing her case. Do you know how to take for? No, I already answered that question. It's not clear. Much faster. What will happen to the application number that I currently have? I don't know. I don't know your case. I can't answer that. Jasmine says, hi, there any news on lifting a 10-year bar for overstayed who exited with no criminal record? Nothing new, no. Those are people who need the I-601 waiver. Farouk, I think you've been on the show for Farouk. Hi, John. With this new policy of Biden administration, will the processing time for I-130 decrease or will it stay the same? Probably going to stay the same. So they announced that they're going to try to have I-130 petitions for immediate relatives go for 6 months. Recently, immediate relative cases for I-130 petitions have gone up to like 8 to 10 months. But that's fairly recent. Usually 6 months was the number. And so it's probably going to go back to the number and stay there. But that's why I-130 is for immediate relatives. So if you're married to a green card holder or a child of a green card holder, that delay is so already going to be there, which is nearly 2 years now. It's out of control. They make these promises that I'll believe it when I see it. So I'm always a little pessimistic because they make a lot of claims and stuff that they're going to do and they don't do. But hey, if they go faster, the better it is. God bless them. But keep in mind that that's USCIS and the Biden administration through USCIS said they're going to try to make things faster. The embassy system underfunded and stuff. So I don't know what's going on there. Those issues are still going to stay, at least for another year or two. SD Ganda asks, how long after interview will they issue the green card? I don't know. They might deny your green case and not give you a green card. So it's no fixed time on that. Usually it's pretty fast, but it's up to the officer and whatever the case is. Jasmine asks, they have talked about it, and there are like 4 bills in Congress just getting dust to actually lift the ban. Yeah, don't follow any of the bills. Don't follow any of the hype. Any YouTube channels you see that talk about, oh, this happened in Congress, this, that. Don't follow any of that because they do that every year. I have a show. It's called the Immigration Lawyers Podcast, and it's a business-to-business trade podcast. So it's more. It's not intended for consumers, but you can listen to it. I don't know how fun it'll be for you guys. But for it, I started studying for a year, every single immigration bill that's going through Congress. So I could talk about on the show what's going on. And I saw there's like 40 of them that come in, and out of the 40 every year, 0 of them have anything happen. So all of a sudden, hundreds and hundreds of bills are putting in every over the past couple of years, and none of them go anywhere. And these bills are really long, so I was wasting a lot of time reading them, and they don't go anywhere. And I realized they just do these bills to say they did them for the most part, so they can tell their constituents or whatever. Or they're really trying, but it's just not happening. So don't follow these bills. Just live your life, and when it happens, it happens. I know it's hard if you're living out of status, but I've seen people give their hopes up. There's no joy in that, so I kind of not into it. Saad asks, Ed, is there any way for my wife can come to the United States while our petition is pending? I'm not sure what your case is, Saad. I can't remember if you asked previously what it is, but maybe you do a K3, but probably not happening. K3 is not realistic, so mostly not, but there might be exceptions. I can't say it in totality. And so Mari says, we couldn't afford a lawyer. Watching your videos, live streaming your ebook, and 15-minute consultation helped us big time. We follow our own interview next week. God bless everything for you. Thank you, Mari. Sorry, I forgot we talked to that. I talked to so many people. This between my regular consultation, I lose track. I just know you're a regular watcher on Monterey Film, so I'm glad we got to talk in the 15-minute consultation. You probably did a great job. I probably would have noticed that there's some issues and would have mentioned the 15-minute consultation, but God bless. Definitely keep me posted. I want to get good news, and I'm glad to help you through this. And it's doable doing these things, unless sometimes be real. So if you have criminal history and stuff like that, or admissibility issues is a problem. If you do them yourself, sometimes people don't know what the admissibility issues are. They think things that are basic are not things that they think certain things are not a big deal, but they are. The other thing is some people just do a terrible job of filling this stuff out. Some people have really good cases, but they do an awful job of filling this stuff out, and then it creates problems for them. So. But overall, they designed this thing they allegedly designed it so you can do it on your own. But as an immigration lawyer, I deal with case every day. Every day I have a case, and even the simple stuff is like find errors and birth certificates and documents. And we had that person, a gentleman, who's got a notice of intent to deny because he was missing a document, it's unavailable. So it's like this stuff happens. So it's better to have a lawyer, but it's expensive. It's really expensive. So it is what it is. A lot of people, USCIS did a released information to the ombudsman and said 30% of cases have lawyers, 70% don't. So, it's better to have a lawyer, but if you can't afford it, a lot of times you can do it. So God bless, and hopefully all these resources help out. And that's what we're here to do. First and foremost, a lawyer's job is to help the community. It's a business and all that. Definitely money is good. I don't have any problem charging people. But at the same time, the lawyer's position in society is this special position to help the regular people. That's what we're here for. And so you can't lose track of that and get caught up in the money all the time. And, it happens to every business. But it is a business. You got to pay bills and you want to have a standard of living that's high and all that kind of stuff. But it's important to always give back to community. It's just part of it. Just like breathing air, a lawyer has to give back to community. If they don't, they're messing up. They're just doing it wrong, and they're gonna feel it. So I'm glad I can help out. God bless you, Monterey. Wish you the best. Burgers and Ham says, okay, thanks. Simple question. I have VAWA C9 with advanced parole. Can I travel for holidays in home country with no overstay? I was on H1B. I can't give you guys are probably okay, but I can't give individual legal advice here. Daryl says, how to obtain a police clearance certificate request from the NVC. The NVC doesn't give police certificate clearances. I'm not sure what you're asking. So you got to clarify exactly what kind of police certificate you need. NVC is not in the process of giving out police certificates. That's just not what they do. Masa asks, hi, I applied for my parents at the same time. I got documentary approved for my dad for NBC, but they asked for my W-2 for my mom's case. So you're going to give them a different interview time? Probably not. You kind of connect with them. If they are, just let them know, hey, we want this case to be the one. If they schedule your dad but not your mom, email the embassy and say, hey, my mom's pretty much the same case. Let them come together. They could probably fix it out. Omop says, hello, I had my interview at Masa, it's probably Masa, but my assistant Katrina named you as our winner of our green card lottery. So if you're still watching, just send a screenshot of where you're at. Should I see in your phone or computer that it's you? And email it to me at info@jqqlaw.com so that I can send you a free 15-minute consultation link and we can take it from there. I'll take one or two more questions and then we'll call it a day. So Omo asks, hello, I had my interview since September 20th last year. Until now, I've not received anything. The IO says she's going to recommend us for approval as well. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sometimes these things lag, but you need to talk to a lawyer to see what happened. I had a case where someone came to the situation. We talked about the case, and I couldn't find any issues with it. It seemed like a clean case. So talk to a lawyer to see if there's issues, and if not, try contacting them and say, hey, what's going on? If needed, contact the congressperson. If really taking too long, you sue them and say, hey, what's going on? Why they're not deciding it? Now, if you had an interview with the embassy, that's another thing. But if you're USCI, it's not. That's what they do. You can sue with USCI with the embassy too. How do you think it can be an issue with a lease agreement if one person or more, if one more person on a lease agreement, which is not in relation to the couple? Not necessarily. It depends on the totality of the case. Maybe, maybe not. This isn't like one thing doesn't derail everything. Sometimes people can't afford to have one place. They have roommates, and that's it's just life. So you can't look at this one kind of thing. You got to look at the big picture of it. So so it depends on the whole picture of the proof that you have to show your relationship. So I'll take one last question. I guess Milo asks, if a foreigner comes to the U.S. on a tourist visa and has no clean pages left in the passport, it'll take 6 months to get a new one while in the United States, and visa expires in the meantime. What should I do? I don't know why it would take 6 months for you to get a new passport. So and then if you're already in the United States, what difference does it make to have clean pages left in your passport? So Mila, I don't know I'd have to review that more to see what's going on. Can't help you with that. Sorry. And last question, Mondrome, can you give us any update regarding new USCIS processing times, specifically, especially I-485? Well, it's different. It depends on the USCIS field office that you're working on and the type of case you have. So there's no updates that are possible. Check out uscis.gov for terrible and unreliable processing times. But that's the best I can help you with that. But on that note, thank you for everyone for joining us. This is the live Q&A with the JK Law Firm. I'm John Kasravi. Check out the show, Immigration Talk. It's a weekly show with my associate, Donya, where we talk about what's going on in the world of immigration. We're going to be coming out with a new one really soon about all these changes that have happened with regard to timelines on cases and their goals to make it faster and all that kind of stuff. And check out us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. We're here to help and check it out. If you want to schedule a private consultation, email me at info@jqqlaw.com. we'll be happy to help. God bless. Be safe. We'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.